Hey, it's the Midi for Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. And today's title is The Report Card. A report card is when a student goes to school. Maybe 4 times a year, the school will send back a list of information to the parents about how well the student has done in each of their classes. How well have they done? It is a report about how well they've done in math, how well they've done in science, how well they've done in their language classes. So we can expect several clues that somehow relate to this notion of report card or words that have something to do with reporting. We'll find out. Let's play. First clue is English class, failed. Second clue is painting class, poor. Well, we do not know yet what those are, so we will have to start with the downs. Lard or blubber. Lard is the fat that comes from inside an animal. I guess from a cow? I don't know, I'm a vegetarian. But this is a big hunk of lard, a big hunk of fat. And this is another piece of meat that has a lot of lard inside, in between the actual meat. Blubber is the fat inside a whale. Blubber used to be quite important back when people were hunting a lot of whales and eating whale meat. They would collect the blubber, the fat, and use it, I think, as the fuel for candles. So that is going to be fat. Flashy item added to a fish hook. Oh, a flashy item added to a fish hook is going to be a lure. L-U-R-E. And let's look and see what a fish hook is, or what a lure is. Fish hook and lure. So this is the hook that you put on a fishing line. These are the hooks. And then the lure is like these feathers that make the hook attractive to fish. So the verb to lure is to try to call someone, to attract somebody and get them to come towards you. And so a lure is an object that makes the fish come towards you. You could also use a lure as something to get a person to come to you. Maybe a store has a special sale, a special price on something, and that's your lure to get you into the store. And then they'll sell you other things and maybe lose just a little bit of money on the lure. Grand Theft Auto is the name of a video game you might have heard of. And it is also the name of a crime. So if you steal a car, it is sometimes called Grand Theft Auto. I guess that's probably because the value of a car is quite high. So instead of being small, what's called petty theft, if I stole a pen, it would just be petty theft. Petty is a word for small. But if I stole something very big and expensive, that's grand theft. So Grand Theft Auto means that you've stolen an automobile. Stumble over, that would be to trip. If you're walking along down the street, then you fall on something, you trip. So you can take a trip. That's a different meaning of the word trip. Taking a trip is a journey, but in this case, tripping is falling over because your foot has caught on something. Curvy alphabet letter. We'll come back to that. Suffix with sinus or senior. So sinusitis is you have a problem with your nose. Your sinuses are the back part of your nose, and so sinusitis is you're congested. You can't clear your mucus out of your nose. And senioritis is, the senior is the person who is the top level of a high school. So it is their very last year of high school, and they have finished all of their classes. Maybe they just have a few exams left, but they're ready maybe to go to college afterwards, and they suffer from senioritis. They just are not interested in school anymore. They want to go and go to parties. That's senioritis. What earns you first place in an arcade game? Well, this is probably going to be a top something or other, but I don't know what it is. Probably top score, because this is, we decided, was the curvy alphabet letter. And a curve is something that goes like that, right? It's not straight, it's curved. And the curvy alphabet letter is an S, and you spell S this way. So what earns you first place in an arcade game is going to be the top score. So arcade games are these video games that you play in what's called a video arcade. And it's called a video arcade because it has a lot of these video games. Now, if we look up here, this English class failed because they got an F. So this has spelled the word flit. I'm not sure if there is any reason why we have the word flit, but flit is something, is sort of a butterfly flitters. It doesn't really fly in a big way, but it flits. It goes doof-a-boof, boof-a-boof from one place to another. It flits from here to there. A very simple light flight. Okay, so this is going to painting class, poor. So in the American scale, you have an F is a failing grade. A D is a poor score. A C is what's supposed to be average, and we'll come back to that. So this is going to be with a B. A computer class good, so B becomes good. And an A is excellent. Please don't ask me why we do not have E, why it's A, B, C, D, and F for fail, and there is no grade called E in the American scoring system. Okay. Torts class, we can't get torts. Torts is law. Slender orchestra woodwind. An orchestra is a whole group of instruments, the violin, the cello, the flutes, the drums, all playing a big symphony usually. A woodwind is a member of a section of instruments, clarinets, saxophones, where they are blowing through a reed, and the one that they're asking for here is an oboe. So it's you can see here somebody playing the oboe. Oboe, spelled a little strangely. A luxury hotel chain. Okay, there's a hotel chain called the Omni. That's just trivia. Arrest as members of a drug ring. Okay, so usually the cops go when they're looking for people in a drug ring. So a drug ring is a group of criminals who are selling drugs or who are smuggling drugs, doing something with the drug trade. When they find this group, they are able to arrange to take all of the criminals to capture them all at the same time. That's what's going to be called a drug bust. A tiny blue villager from kids' TV and movies. That's a Smurf. You've probably seen the Smurfs, although they have a different name in French and German. So those are the Smurfs. Cry uncontrollably. If you're really crying, you sob. And there's just the tears are just pouring out of your face. Okay, this is going to be a T, right? On set. At the location, it's not on set, it's on set. At the location where a movie is being filmed. Well, where the movie is being filmed, it's called the set. I knew it was going to be a T because I saw the word onset, but I thought it was going to be onset as a single word, meaning the beginning of something. The onset is the opening moments of some sort of an event, but on set is two words and meaning that everybody is on the set at the place where the film is being recorded. Okay. Torts class, again, that's law class. Let's see. Exited the scene. So maybe you were on the set and now you've walked off the set. You have left. Okay, so here the B has it. That has lit. I wonder if this also has... No, that's not going to be. I can guarantee that's not going to be LIT. Protect as with a roof. Not sure yet. No longer working on. Not sure. Gym class. Okay, we can't get that yet because we do not know what is supposed to follow the A. Okay, enthusiastic as a fan. Not sure yet. Football penalty callers. Okay, so football is the big American game. And the people who, if there's a penalty, actually I guess this works in football if your meaning is also soccer. The people who call the penalties, if the players do something wrong, there are referees on the field who have the whistles and stop the play, explain what went wrong. And the short version of referees is refs. Attempt. If you attempt something, you try it. You may not succeed, but at least you've given it an attempt. And we have a saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again. So that's built into the language, this notion that there could be times where you fail, but you just keep on trying, and maybe you will be able to succeed in the end. Protect as with a roof. Still don't know. Bring together. So you have a bunch of different groups, and they have different opinions maybe, but you unify them. You bring them together. Okay, hotel room offerings. Not sure yet. Havana's country. Havana is the capital of Cuba. And we say Cuba, not Cuba, as they would say in Spanish. No longer working on. So now I'm going to think this is done with. You were working on it, you finished it, and you say, I'm done with that. 2 words, done with. I'm done with that. You could say, I'm done with dinner, meaning I've already eaten dinner. Thank you very much. I'm done with it. Kinda, sorta suffix. Okay, that's ish. If you say something is ish, it's a very slangy way of saying, not exactly, but in the range of, in the neighborhood of, in the area of. You could put that on as a suffix on another word, like you could say that something is, I don't know, bluish, meaning that it's kind of blue. It's not exactly blue, but if you had to say what color it is, you'd more likely say it's blue than that it's red or that it's green. You'd say it's blue-ish. So sometimes you could just use ish by itself. If you had to guess somebody's age, you might say, oh, she's 40-ish. Maybe she's 40, maybe she's 42, maybe she's 38, but ish. An ingredient in many body lotions is called shea butter. I don't think that's important for your English. Angel's instrument. An angel is the heavenly creature, and they play a harp. So let's look for harp. So that's the angel, and that's the harp. H-A-R-P. Wiggler on a foot. Well, that's probably going to be your toe. You have your toes and they wiggle. Actually, let's not do that because my hands are not my feet. Toes on a foot. Those are your toes, and you could call them wigglers because they go. Wiggling is this kind of motion that's not exactly, it's not pointing straight at something. It's this is wiggling. So toes, toe, and then what do we have in the cross? Well, how about that? In this case, that, any specific meaning? You're not saying it is that, it is that particular thing. What you're saying is just the whole fixed phrase. How about that? Well, what do you know? Well, that's surprising. It's really just a way of expressing maybe a mild surprise. A lifesaver is a hero. So a hero is somebody who has done something particularly brave, particularly worthy of praise that maybe you wouldn't do, maybe because they risked their life. And so they are a hero. Let's see. So we've got ape, gym class, excellent. Ape. I do not think there's anything to do with ape, bit, flit, claw. There doesn't seem to be a common theme in any of these, nor in lit, PE, law. I think the only common theme is that they needed FD, C, B, and A for the grading system for the report card. Okay. In a computer class, you have a bit. Gym class. No, you don't have anything called an ape. So a computer, thinking that computers, the little unit of measurement for how much memory is used is a bit. But that doesn't seem to follow through with anything else on this chart. Torts class, law, okay, okay, I got it. So torts class is your law class, so it's L-A-W. English class, lit is for literature. So literature are the books that you have to read, or the books that you can read. Hopefully they're good quality books and you will enjoy reading them. But in English class, you read them. You read literature and you call the class lit. It's short for literature. Computer class is IT, information technology. Gym class is PE. PE stands for physical education. Painting class is going to be art. When you paint something, it's art. And so you got a D in art, but dart is the thing that you throw at a dartboard. You've seen these. That's the dart, and that's the dartboard. Protect as with a roof. Okay, so you are covering something, protecting it. Then hotel room offerings are going to be beds. Inside a hotel room, what do you sleep on? You sleep on a bed. And then this is going to be avid. Avid means very eager, enthusiastic as a fan. If you are really serious about Star Wars, you're an avid Star Wars fan. If you are really serious about dogs, you are an avid fan of dogs. Maybe you're an avid dog person. So avid means you really enjoy it, you're passionate about it, you think about it a lot. And we are going to put in a D for beds and a D for avid and get to music. There you have it. We said the theme was report card, and it would have something to do with school and the card that comes home, the list of how well your kid did in school in these various subjects. And there we have it. They ranged from an F to an A. Thanks so much for joining me to play the Midi. Let's see what we've got to close ourselves out. We have a guy with one eye. He's going to be a pirate. Where to support the channel? Oh, that would be Patreon. Contribute to the video production costs. Oh, that would be support. Support us if you could. The most recent WordsWordsWords video would be the newest. All the WordsWordsWords videos would be the archive. The host of Midi and many other games. Oh, yes, you should subscribe to the New York, NY for New York, Times, puzzles and games. Teacher of languages, the pirate professor. Get Pirate Professor videos in your feed. Subscribe. Tell YouTube that you think this video is great. That is what you do along with subscribing, is you like. So like and subscribe. Appreciation for watching this video would be thanks. And have a great day. Enjoy, and we'll see each other the next time.